Hey everybody, welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I'm a transgender woman, and I talk about all things horror. And today's horror icon is the man himself, Robert Freddy Krueger Englund. So Robert Englund is actually a very interesting man in terms of the horror community because he's had the honor of working with some of horror's best directors of all time, while also having the honor of playing one of horror's most iconic characters of all time. And yes, he's a villain, of course. Robert Englund pretty much got his start in, as like a kind of like a character actor, but then he also went on to star in some roles here and there. And he's got a pretty interesting career and filmography. Um, So he's done a lot of voiceover work, which is pretty cool because he has a very distinct voice. And he's been making movies at least since 1974. And not every movie he's done has been a horror movie, although he does tend to favor the horror franchise or horror genre more than anything else from the looks of his filmography. Um, he's best known for playing, of course, Freddy Krueger, but also playing bit roles in other horror movies that just like to make reference to horror in general, because horror likes to celebrate its own history, which I think is pretty freaking cool. And one of the things I love about horror is it's kind of like a family. There's like a horror family. And Robert Englund is kind of like one of the drunken uncles. He's like always there. He's at every family reunion. Um, I have never met Robert Englund. I've met a few celebrities, not at conventions, but more as at my time as a journalist. But he's on my bucket list of guys I'd love to meet someday. Which I better get on the ball because the clock is ticking and he's getting on the upper end of the time frame. He's old. Um, Now Robert Englund has played Freddy Krueger in all of the main Nightmare on Elm Street films, including Freddy vs. Jason. The one Nightmare on Elm Street film he didn't play Freddy Krueger was, unfortunately, or fortunately for him, depending on how you look at it, the remake. Um, which isn't the best in the franchise, but not because of the Freddy Krueger, more or less because of other reasons I've already talked about in the video where I reviewed it. So, I'm a big fan of Robert Englund. Now, um, he's done too many films for me to list them all, but some of his notable appearances would obviously Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Freddy vs. Jason. He also made an appearance in the first Wishmaster film, as well as an appearance in Urban Legend, which is a notable appearance of his because he's actually one of the suspects. So he's actually in it quite a bit. And then his last, I would say, most recent notable appearance would be in Hatchet, which is cool because not only is he in that movie, but so is Kane Hodder, and that's pretty cool because if you haven't seen Hatchet, Kane Hodder gets to kill Robert Englund. So it was kind of like a big old, you know what? Freddy vs. Jason wasn't definitive, but this is. And so that's a pretty cool thing. Now I want to talk about one other aspect of his career besides his voice acting, which I won't get into because it's a lot of cartoons and I don't watch cartoons. So I can't say I've seen anything he's voiced. But I will say this. He did direct some films, and I believe his first film he directed was called 976 Evil, which is probably not a great movie by most people's standards. It's still an enjoyable film, and I love it. I think it has issues, obviously, most of which come down to I would say at the time, relatively inexperienced director. But still, it's a passable movie. It's enjoyable. So just looking at his Wikipedia page, trying to find out what else has he directed. I'm not seeing much. It looks like he did Killer Pad in 2008. And then he's had a few television appearances, notably in the 70s and 80s. Also, he was in Freddy's Nightmares as Freddy Krueger. And most notably, most recently, he appeared as Freddy Krueger again on the Goldberg's episode. And then he was also featured um, as a serial killer, I say, in Stranger Things Season 4, which was a really good appearance for him. It looks like he has been in a handful of video games. It looks like he was in a voice actor in Marvel Superhero Squad Online, Call of Duty Black Ops, Mortal Kombat from 2011, where he played Freddy Krueger, Master of Orion, Conquer the Stars, and Injustice 2. And it does look like he's won a few awards. Looks like mostly Saturn awards and a Fangoria Chainsaw Award. A couple of those. Looks like he's got a couple of Fanta Festival awards. And one Streamy Award. Interesting. And a few other awards I don't recognize. But those are pretty cool. Looks like more Saturn awards than anything. Nominated mostly. Trying to see if he won any of those Saturn awards. He did. He won the Life Career Award in 2001, and he won 1995 Best Actor for The Mangler. All right. Looks like the rest of his award accolades are just nominations, but still good on him for getting nominated. You know, he's had a very robust career. And the man is currently, how old is he? 76 years old. Born in 1947. Wow. He just missed World War II. So I think that makes him a baby boomer. I'm pretty sure that makes him a baby boomer. So yeah, Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, the man himself, pretty cool dude, horror icon. Stay cool.